Hello friends, it's that time of year again. The time of year where the news pundits, the politicians, your friends, your neighbors, your family all tell you that you must vote! Not only are we told this is the most important election since the last election, but our heads, especially the younger generation, are filled with the idea that this is the moment we've been waiting for. This is our moment to effect change within the world. We have the chance, they say, to elect that new, bright and shiny young politician who promises us everything we want, or we have the opportunity to vote against that mean, bad, ugly, disgusting old criminal politician. My whole point is that this whole game is about convincing more people to participate in this rigged system. I've released several essays and videos on my thoughts on non-voting and why I don't participate in the electoral system. I'll post those below for those who haven't seen them before. And before you start commenting very angry and telling me how stupid I am, please, I advise you to read those articles, check out those videos and essays, because I've answered every single question about why I don't vote. Hint, I'm not apathetic or nihilistic. But the purpose of today's video is to offer a few tips to my voting friends from your favorite non-voter. So here we go. Number 1, be an educated voter. I've heard many people say that voting only takes 5 minutes. Now, obviously voting takes more than 5 minutes, but I think I get the general sentiment here, which is essentially that voting doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long to go down to the polling station and to press a couple of buttons. However genuine this sentiment may be, it is just flat out incorrect. Look, if you're simply going to the polls to vote for one color over the other or one party over the other, then I imagine it doesn't take that long to go to the polling place and to press a couple of buttons. But if you actually want to be an educated voter and know the positions of the people who are running and the issues that are on the ballot, then it's going to take more than a few minutes to do some research about these topics. This might take a few hours of research and learning about each of the candidates and the issues. It might take a few days of reflecting on your morals and values. It could even take a few weeks as you contemplate whether or not any of the candidates line up with your values, or if any of the issues are important enough to you to go out and vote. So if your vote is such a serious topic, why not take it serious? This means you might need to start researching weeks and months before the election. If you don't have that kind of time, maybe consider only voting on the issues of the candidates that you're educated on. There is no shame in not voting when you're not educated on the topics of the candidates. And when I say educated, I don't mean that you watched a couple hours of cable news and you had somebody form an opinion for you. I mean actual research, getting information from multiple sources and coming to your own views. Number 2. Don't vote straight ticket. Straight ticket voting, or straight party voting, is the practice of voting for every single candidate that a party puts forward. So this would mean in the United States, you vote straight Democrat, you vote straight Republican, straight Libertarian, straight Green Party, Constitutional Party, what have you. So this point really expands on my first point about being an educated voter. The fact of the matter is that unless you are an educated straight ticket voter and you've actually educated yourself on every person and every issue on the ballot, then you're doing yourself a disservice. If you've not taken the time to educate yourself about these issues or these people, then it's highly unlikely that you are going to get the results you want by voting straight ticket. Now, some of you may be saying, but I'm a lifelong Democrat, or I'm a lifelong Republican, or if you're outside of the US, insert your nation's favorite dominating parties, it's all the same. Well, sure, you may identify with one of the system's parties, but in reality, each of us as free, powerful, beautiful human beings are much more complex than one single party or the two-party system itself or the party system in general can represent. Try to think of taking time to educate yourself about the issues and the candidates as a form of self-respect where you actually honor your time and energy. Don't throw away your time, energy, and vote by giving it blindly to a political party which likely doesn't fully represent you. Number 3, don't compromise. This piece of advice might rub some of you the wrong way. Now, I'm not stating in life that we should never compromise with other people. However, I disagree wholeheartedly with the idea that we should compromise our morals, our values, and our principles in order to achieve a civilized society. I strongly believe that the future of humanity depends on every free human becoming self-aware, reflecting on the principles that they value, taking steps to live by those principles, and educating others about the values of those principles. For me, this means following the golden rule. The golden rule has been stated time and time again in a number of cultures throughout history. But at the end of the day, what it really means is to treat other people in ways that you want to be treated and don't treat people in ways that you don't want to be treated. It's just as simple as that. Stated differently, one could say that it's wrong, immoral, unethical to initiate force, violence, or coercion against other free human beings. This is because each of us own ourselves. That is, our physical body, the products of our labor, and voluntary arrangements we make with other people. Thus, it is wrong to violate this principle of self-ownership by initiating force or coercion against other free people. I refuse to compromise on this. And participating in the electoral political system completely goes against these core values. I believe it is wrong to hold a vote and then use government to force other people to go along with the results. I understand that many of you disagree. What I ask of you then is to take the time to understand the principles and values which guide your desire to vote. Once you understand what guides you, ask yourself if these politicians can truly live up to your standards. You don't have to accept the lesser of two evils. You don't have to accept evil at all. Number 4, stop shaming people. It has become a common tactic by those on the left and the right to shame those of us who choose not to participate in the state's ritual known as voting. This does not help your cause. And it's not just with voting. I've met many people who tell me they keep their true opinions to themselves or even lie to their friends out of fear of being attacked or berated for straying from popular opinion. If we have reached the time where individuals feel safer by self-censoring themselves, we have to take an important moment to reflect. Whether or not you agree with someone's personal lifestyle choices and opinions, you don't help your cause by making them feel small. If voting isn't just a popularity contest and it actually represents the true will of the people, isn't non-participation its own form of voting or expressing an opinion? Don't be mad because other people come to different conclusions and make different decisions. Number 5, vote with your actions. This is the most important tip I can offer anyone. Please, don't wait for every 2 to 4 years to get involved in the federal elections. If you want to be politically involved, focus your efforts on your local community, the municipality, the school board, the city council. But even more than that, vote with your actions by making every single choice you make a part of your effort to live in line with your values. This might mean getting involved in your local community garden or urban farm, getting to know your neighbors and maybe creating a neighborhood watch, promoting or starting a local alternative currency, hosting or attending skill shares, free schools, community tool sharing and book sharing, and so many other ways to get involved with the people closest to you and liberate your own communities and neighborhoods. Yes, you can do both. You can get involved in your local community and vote in elections. My challenge to those of you who choose this particular path is the following. On the same day you place your vote, go get involved in some sort of local community project. Perhaps start volunteering at a community garden and plant seeds in the earth. Track the progress of the result of your vote and of planting seeds and see which experience provides more value for your life. I'm quite confident that if you choose to get involved in community activism, and I'm not talking about political activism, your life will be enriched in a variety of ways. You can build relationships that could potentially be the framework for the decentralized communities of the future. To learn more about investing your time and energy into creating alternatives to the current system, please research agorism and counter-economics. I hope these tips were helpful or at the very least informative. I do think that most people who participate in the voting system, the electoral system, do so with positive and good intentions. I also know that there are other people who truly desire to control other free people via the political system, and I cannot and will not endorse that. My only hope and the reason I put out this type of content is that I want the coming generations to find a more peaceful, compassionate way to organize our lives, and that starts by recognizing the power and the beauty within each of us as free individual human beings. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please like, follow, subscribe, and bookmark our website. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace.